Spec-driven development is everywhere right now. OpenSpec, Spec Kit, Kiro. New tools keep appearing, all promising the same thing. Stop wipe coding, write a specification first, then let AI implement it. Here's the thing, if you're using Claude Code, you already have this built in. It's called plan mode, and most people don't understand its true potential. Let's talk about why spec-driven development exists in the first place. When you chat with an AI coding assistant, your requirements are scattered across a long conversation. No structure, no persistence. When the context window fills up, the AI forgets what you agreed on. You end up with code regression, logic gaps, and hallucinations. The solution? Write a specification before coding. Make the spec the source of truth. This isn't new, it's what good engineers have always done. The difference now is that AI can help write and execute that spec. Tools like OpenSpec and GitHub's Spec Kit formalize this into a structured workflow. You describe what you want. The AI generates a detailed spec. You approve it, then it breaks the work into tasks and implements them. It works, but it requires installing external tools, learning new commands, and managing yet another dependency. Claude Code has had plan mode since mid-2025, but it started as a simple thing before you code feature. Over the past few months, it's evolved into something much more powerful. Today, plan mode is a formalized state machine. It has two core tools: enter plan mode and exit plan mode. You can activate it three ways. Press Shift-Tab twice, type the /plan command, or start Claude with the -- permission mode plan from the terminal. When you do, Claude switches to read-only mode. It can explore your codebase, search files, fetch documentation. But it cannot write code, not until you approve the plan. This is the same principle behind Spec Kit. The spec comes first, code comes second. Plan mode follows a structured process. First, exploration. Claude scans your codebase using read-only tools: glob, grep, read. It understands your architecture before proposing anything. Second, design. Claude drafts a high-level implementation approach. This isn't a vague description, it's a concrete plan with specific files to create or modify. Third, review. This is where the Ask User Question tool comes in. If anything is ambiguous, Claude asks. Multiple choice questions, clear options, no guessing. Fourth, final plan. Claude writes the approved plan to a markdown file. This becomes your persistent artifact, the thing that survives context switches and session resets. Here is what changed recently that makes this comparison timely. Version 2.1.9, released January 16th, added the plans directory setting. Before this, plans were stored in a global directory under your home folder. Now you can set it to the plans directory in your project. Your plans live alongside your code. You can commit them to Git. Version control your specifications. This was one of the most requested features, and it puts plan mode on equal footing with Spec Kit's local storage approach. One limitation: you cannot customize plan file names yet. They still get random names like cosmic percolating something.md. If you want meaningful names, you'll need to rename the files manually after Claude creates them. Another big change: extended thinking is now enabled by default. You don't need to type ultrathink or any magic keywords anymore. Claude Code automatically uses its full thinking budget. For models like Opus 4.5, that's a lot of reasoning power working behind the scenes. The most recent update at the moment of recording, version 2.1.16, released January 22nd, adds native task management with dependency tracking. This builds on the existing to-do right system, but lets tasks declare what they depend on. Claude won't start implementing a task until its dependencies are complete. If you're building a profile page that needs a database schema first, Claude should track that relationship and execute in the right order. The feature just dropped, so documentation is sparse, but it's worth watching. Here is something neither OpenSpec nor Spec Kit have: built-in subagents. When Claude enters plan mode, it can spawn specialized agents to help with the research. The plan agent handles deep codebase analysis. The explore agent, powered by Haiku, handles fast file searches. Each has its own context window, so your main conversation stays clean. You don't configure this, it just happens. Claude orchestrates the research automatically. Let me show you how this works in practice. Let's imagine that I'm going to add a Buy Me a Coffee button to my website. First, I configure the plans directory in my settings. I'll set it to plans, so they are stored in the project root. I press Shift-Tab a couple times until I see plan mode activate. Then I describe what I want. A button in the header, left of the subscribe button, style to match the site, black background with orange accents. I also ask Claude to tell me how to set up Buy Me a Coffee since I've never used it. Claude starts exploring. It reads my components, checks how the header is structured, looks at the existing styles. Then it writes a plan, which files to modify, the component design, even the environment variable I'll need. Plus the setup instructions I asked for: sign up, get your link, connect payment. The plan gets saved to my plans directory. I can commit it to Git. For a simple feature like this, I just approve and let Claude implement. A minute later, I run npm run dev. The button is there. Styles match. Hover effect works. It just needs the actual Buy Me a Coffee link once I sign up. That's the workflow. For bigger features, you'd iterate more on the plan itself. You can also clear the context and follow the plan with a fresh session. OpenSpec and Spec Kit are both solid options. OpenSpec is leaner and faster to work with. Spec Kit offers more structure. Both work across Claude Code, Copilot, Cursor, and others. If you're using multiple AI tools, they provide a consistent workflow. But if Claude Code is your primary tool, Plan Mode gives you the same benefits without the extra layer. No installation, no new commands to learn, no context switching between tools. The subagent orchestration is something you don't get with external spec tools. Claude handles the research phase intelligently, spinning up lightweight agents for fast searches and heavier agents for deep analysis. And with local plan storage, you now have the version control story that was missing before. Plan mode is not for everything. If you're fixing a typo or adding a console.log, just do it. But for anything non-trivial, new features, refactors, architectural changes, enter plan mode first. Let Claude explore, answer its questions, review the plan, then execute. The iteration happens in the planning phase where it's cheap, not in the implementation phase where mistakes are expensive. One thing to be honest about, plan mode works best for small to medium-sized features. For larger features, the new task dependency system in version 2.116 should help. Claude can break work into dependent tasks and execute them in order, but you still need to stay in control. Reread the plans. Keep context in your head. You can run multiple plans in parallel using Git work trees, different features, different branches, different Claude sessions. But more than two gets hard to manage. You become the bottleneck. For true scalability, there are tools with interactive Kanban boards that orchestrate multiple agents. But that's a topic for another video. Plan mode has quietly become one of the most powerful features in Claude Code. It implements the same spec-driven principles that OpenSpec and Spec Kit provide, but it's built in. No extra dependencies, no new workflows to learn. With local plan storage and automatic extended thinking, it's ready for serious use. Try it on your next feature. You might find you don't need another tool. If this was helpful, subscribe for more AI development content. Let me know in the comments, are you using plan mode or do you prefer external spec tools? And don't forget to plan a feeding schedule for your cat. They'll adjust and won't come asking for food when you're watching Claude Code doing your job.